Okay, so this is my name is Raymond Wong and this is my FSC 100 capstone project. So as you can see here, this will be the circuit that we were supposed to build, which is supposed to represent a scale where there's a weight, and you basically essentially put weight on the left and right side to determine whether it's balanced, and if you put too much on one side, it'll become unbalanced. So here we have our 2-bit input, each 1 bit left and right. We then have our W, which will be our output. So, and then we have our E here, which will represent, basically determine whether or not the scale is balanced or not. So for instance, if I were to run this circuit, we can see that E is lit up, which means that the scale is balanced because I have not placed anything on the right and left hand. So however, if I do place both, it also lights up. So the scale is evenly balanced at this current point. If I want to turn it off and turn on one side, um, the E is not lit anymore, which means that one side is off balance. In this case, it's the left side. So the way that this thing works is, so if I enter in right and I were to clock it, it will become 7, which in my design, 7 represents the most weight put on the right hand side. So the scale would now be tilting towards the right side as there's weight placed in there. And if I were to reset it and I were to do left, so 0, 1 now in this instance, prior when I just did the right, it was 1, 0. And in this case, this is 0, 1. And if I were to clock it, it will be 1, which on my design is the far most left weight. So put the most weight on the left. So in this instance, the left is now leaning towards this way, down this way. And I can also, if I were to reset it one more time, and I were to do, for instance, start right, um, and clock back to 7. So now the scale is now tilting down this way. I can now also clock the left. So 1, 0, 0, 1. I can clock left now, and now it becomes 6. So it will now cut down the weight by 1. So now in instance, it went from this, and now I'm basically adding weight to the left side, which will now counterbalance it out to this way. And then same thing again, if I were to clock it one more time, it will drop now to 3. So now it will start to slowly lean towards the right hand side. And that is basically my capstone project.